What's up, everybody? My name is Vincent. Welcome to Cryptolution, where we talk about everything under the moon in the crypto universe. Today's Wednesday, January 21st. Now, obviously in today's video, we have to talk about how dog Bitcoin is showing massive domination within the memecoin sector. It's even been flipping the number one base token called Brett and also an insider traded token called Melania. But on-chain transaction volume with Bitcoin runes are returning in full force. We're now seeing on-chain that the next rune supercycle is actually happening right now as we speak. We want to cover this and what's going on with dog price and the charting, but let's cover everything really quickly because it looks like the market is slightly coming back. So let's cover it in this video. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to join us on X. Please be careful with any scammers down in the comments below. I'll never reach out via WhatsApp, Telegram, direct messaging, or email. So please be careful and invest safely. Guys and girls, let's get right into it. So dog Bitcoin right now is up around 3.96% over the past 24 hours, still hovering above 130 million market cap. Now, why is dog pumping right now? Well, it could be that Bitcoin is pumping. As you can see, it's up 0.7%, so not even really close to 1%. It's still below 90,000 US dollars, but maybe this is why everything's coming back. But you have to pay attention to what happened yesterday, because we started seeing the whole crypto market lose roughly around $150 billion. And also we saw to this morning that Bitcoin pumped roughly $2,000 during Trump's speech, which added roughly around $60 billion. And then 2 hours later, we lost all those gains. It was kind of crazy to see this major flash crash and then some. And this is obviously due to market manipulation. This is not any way organic. This is just where the crypto market is. But it didn't just affect crypto. I mean, even the stock market lost roughly around 1.3 trillion, actually $1.4 trillion at the time of this recording. So it's not just crypto, it's also stocks. Now let's talk about meme coins. Meme coins are in the green right now. You can see that most of the meme coins right now are up in the single digits, up 2%. Some are up 3%, 4%. When I scroll down, you can see that dog Bitcoin is still within the top 20 meme coins by market cap, according to CoinMarketCap. And yesterday, we saw something happen. What happened to dog Bitcoin? Well, it ended up flipping Brett, the number one base token, and also Melania, the number one insider traded token, in my personal opinion. Also, there's Trump, that's another insider traded token as well. But nonetheless, it flipped them. But let's see how dogs perform to date over the past month, because dog has been performing way better than Dogecoin, way better than the cult following of SPX 6900, way better than the insider traded token Trump, and still performing better than Pengu, a VC-backed team member token that uses paid marketing. Now, dog has done way better than all these people, and by far does not need artificial trading volume. As you can see from many of these other meme coins that have tier 1 centralized exchange listings, they also have market makers. So when you look at dog, you can see that dog roughly has $3 million in total trading volume in the past 24 hours. Well, look at Brett. Brett's 21 million. And let's go ahead and go over to Dog Whiff Hat, 132 million. Look at the Pengu token, 188 million. Look at SPS 6900, it's up 18 million in terms of daily trading volume. Now, what you need to remember is that that is artificial trading volume. It's not actually real trading volume from retail traders. It's all the market makers to pump or dump those tokens. And still, dog defeats all of those artificial traded tokens. And this is what's amazing about dog. We don't need to pay artificial market making or artificial trading. It's literally all organic. And that's why dog has a longer lasting effect that outbeats all these other meme coins, just like Bitcoin outbeats all other altcoins. We're even seeing a surge in trading volume for the dog Solana wrap version over on Solana. We saw roughly yesterday 7.7 thousand transactions just in that day alone. That's both buy and sell orders. But nonetheless, the activity on Solana is bigger. And we have a new holder count, which is roughly around 10,660 and growing to date. Now, I want to point out something that I noticed yesterday. Now, when dog was dipping quite slightly, you may have noticed that down below, there was a massive amount of buying volume over on gate.io. And it was roughly around 90% and up of buying trading volume. Now, what typically happens is that whenever the dog price goes down, Gate, which uses market makers, and these market makers are most likely bots, not actual human beings, they buy the dips. And you know why they buy the dips? It's because they want to sell when it starts to pump. But this isn't bad, because what I'm starting to see is that Kraken is actually buying those dips as well. So there's a lot of buy orders. Say for instance like dog goes to around 120 million market cap. Well, there's a ton of liquidity there sitting to buy that. And this is what's amazing. The days of 90 million market cap for dog are long gone. That was the absolute bottom. And I've been through this 3 other times in the past. 90 million was the bottom recently in December of 2025. Now its number go up and to the right. And you can see that dog is actually seeing these massive wicks. Now these massive wicks that you're seeing here is showing that dog could hit around 154 million or 158 million at any point in time. These are massive buy orders, but market makers want to close the daily candles to keep it as low as possible, because what will happen is if the daily candles close in the green and get up to above 150 million market cap, then the market makers and the bots have no choice but to close on that daily candle above 150 and continue to go up to fit the need and demand for dog Bitcoin. So this is what's great about this organic trading volume. And what I discovered on Check on Chain is one thing, is that, have you noticed something? Now, remember when dog and runes were very popular during the summer of 2024, when dog was pretty much airdropped on April of 2024, and we saw a major rune super cycle happen. And roughly we saw that Bitcoin is at around 64,000 US dollars, but runes were dominating in transaction volume. And then all of a sudden in January 2025, you notice that there was a Trump meme coin that happened. The entire meme coin market and altcoin market took a dip after that, and we experienced kind of a boring time in the crypto market. But notice the surge, which is the blue section. This is the return of Bitcoin runes again. Now, the reason we focus on data, the reason we focus on chain is because it shares you the renewed activity and interest within Bitcoin meme coins. We already see that Bitcoin runes are mentioned in Morgan Stanley's Bitcoin Trust article. You see that Binance Research is also talking about the runes protocol coming back. They're all telling you runes are not only here to stay, but 2026 is the year of Bitcoin meme coins. And I have all that data to share with you. I mean, the data right now is very bullish, and I'll give you some pointers, right? We talked about not too long ago how we saw for the 4th time the super trend indicator flash by. It's only happened 3 other times, and those 3 other times were very bullish for dog's price going up. One for 980 million, one for 999 million, and the third one was 560 million. What do you think the 4th one's going to be? And also long-term holder count increased from 75 to 77%. You saw that the Solana holder count grew, trading volume surged, and also it's the top performing meme coin to date, year to date since January, according to Artemis. I've shared all the data with you in the previous videos. And then we're also forming higher lows, and we're still above the 50-day moving average. So let's look into the data. So forming higher lows, this is what a higher low looks like. Okay, remember 90 million was the bottom of this cycle. Good job if you bought the dip. This is a higher low. Regardless of what you see in this pullback, this was a higher low, this is a higher low, this is a higher high, this is a higher high, and we're just waiting for dog to get another higher high. Now, this red trend line isn't validated, but we have a new one, which is this yellow one. It seems to be that dog is following that trend so far to date, and it could bounce right within this wedge, but it's going to ascend regardless, in my personal opinion. And even within the RSI, you saw that this purple line curved up, bounced off the red line, as we shared with you in the previous videos. We're seeing a slight curvature of the yellow line. We could still be an extended bull rally within this green square. I just don't know how big or long it will be. Maybe it'll last until January 26th, maybe up into here. But this thing could happen really fast. I mean, look at this blue and orange line within the MACD. In fact, I think it's going to curve back up. That's just my personal opinion. You know what's crazy is that I've been through 3 different bottoms for dog. One over here, one over here, and one over here. Every single time there's a bottom, people usually don't think that dog's going to go up. And look what happened every single time. Dog went up. And now I'm telling you that dog bottomed out and it's going to go up. But 99% of people still won't believe me. This is just crazy. Like, I'm literally sharing data on a day-to-day basis that dog is primed to be the next meme coin to explode into the multi-billions of dollars of market cap. It's going to happen, and it's most likely going to happen either within maybe the next few months up until the end of the year. It can happen so fast that dog has a FOMO effect. And the only thing that's changed, and what is changed in a good way, is that we have Kraken. We have Kraken Exchange as a tier 1 for people to easily buy dog, the same way that for the very first time people didn't know how to buy Dogecoin, so they only bought it off of Coinbase and Robinhood. And so this is the exact same thing where Kraken now becoming the tier 1 centralized exchange listing in the US and being the fast mover within listing dog. You're going to see that dog is going to be the #1 traded token on Kraken, and then you're going to see all these other exchanges list dog, and that's the domino effect of catalysts that come right after that. So right now, this is the time to be focusing again on accumulating as much as you can below 150 million market cap when you know it's going to go into the multi-billions of dollars. So to close it off, if you don't know, so this Friday at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time, the Dog Millionaire show that's hosted by J-Dog, the Crypto Satan's actually giving some dog giveaways out. I think it's around 100,000 dog tokens because he met his 1,000 followers. And that's going to be announced this Friday on the Dog Millionaire show. So make sure to tune in that if you haven't already. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that pretty much wraps up the video. So you know that I'm very, very bullish on dog Bitcoin, and I've shared with you data. Data is always really important. Data is the only reason that you should be focusing on dog, not your emotions. Emotions, they focus on price. They focus on trading volume. When data actually tells you the first mover, the first meme coin that's actually going to start the meme coin super cycle, not just within Bitcoin, is going to be dog. And everybody is going to leave their other testnet chains and testnet meme coins and go over to this specific coin because they know dog's going to win. And also, other runes are going to win as well. Mim, Pups, Billion Dollar Cat, whatever you name it. Dog will be the first mover, and then other rune communities will win as well. Because the rune market cap is below 190 million right now. When you think about the all-time high on Solana, which was 12 billion, and the all-time high of Ethereum was 100 billion, Bitcoin meme coins will surpass both of those combined. Yes, combined. So just think about that. Let this noodle in your mind. Just be ahead of the crowd. That's all I can say. So with that said, by supporting this channel, if you want to see more dog content, more updates, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to join us on X to receive all of our alpha calls and updates regarding dog go to the moon. Till then, see you guys girls next time.